Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and today I will be continuing my series of reviewing the Iron Maiden albums. I will be doing them in descending order. So today I'm talking about The Final Frontier, but before I begin, if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and a lot more. So The Final Frontier came out on August 16th, 2010, kind of a long album, at 76 minutes and 34 seconds. This is actually like the third longest behind Book of Souls and the new one, Senjutsu. I'm actually counting the new one because that one already is about to be released. So it was released on the EMI label, produced by Kevin Shirley. Now this is not a concept album. It does have a recurring theme of like exploration and kind of like a space theme here and there. The lead single was El Dorado, and this was actually released prior to the album coming out, and it was released as a digital download. I think back then there wasn't really a lot of streaming, but it's pretty cool. It has the classic lineup, Bruce Dickinson on vocals, Dave Murray, Adrian Smith, and Yannick Gers on guitars, Steve Harris on bass, and Nico McBrain on drums. Now I'm going to be talking about the songs. One thing is interesting about this album is that Steve Harris does have writing credits on all the songs. So those of you who read my thumbnail, we're going to analyze the songs, and we're going to see if this is really one of their weakest. And then once I go through the songs, I will be talking about my favorites, my least favorites, and kind of where I would rank this more or less in their discography. So the first song is Satellite 15, The Final Frontier. It's a two-part song, so written by Adrian Smith and Steve Harris, and I think this kind of hurts the album a little bit because it just, in my opinion, it takes a while to take off. Basically, the first 4.5 minutes really doesn't go anywhere, just kind of like a slow building, some cool guitar bends, pretty cool pounding drum beat, but it just really takes too long to take off. So once the first 4.5 minutes passes, you get to the second part of the song, and I really like this one. It's like one of my favorites. It's really catchy riff. It really has a nice melody to it. Pretty cool guitar solo towards the end. They actually made a music video for the song, but it was for the second part of the song, and I think they should have maybe divided it up, or definitely shortened that Satellite 15 part, because I think that really it just takes too long to take off. But next are a couple of some really good songs. So next is El Dorado. This was the lead single, written by Smith, Harris, and Bruce, and does start out with a really pretty cool blistering intro solo. I like that, and I really like the gallop. That's the best part of this song. Really nice guitar and bass that go really well together. One has a little different type of sound. It's a little more catchy, a little more accessible. Still has that classic Maiden sound, lots of cool riffs, really great lead guitar work. It's kind of fairly long for a lead single, almost 7 minutes. Does have some pretty cool tempo changes, but the song mostly sticks to the main medley. Next is Mother of Mercy. This one I like a lot. It brings back that classic Iron Maiden sound. Has that 80s Maiden sound. Really like it. Slow melodic lead guitar intro. Bruce's vocals are really great. And it's one of the shorter songs, a little over 5 minutes, written by Smith and Harris. And this one has a really great chorus. This is one of those songs that you will remember, you will stick in your head. Has some keyboards in the background, and I think this is one of the more memorable songs. I like this one a lot. Next is Coming Home. It's a fairly short song compared to the others. It's a little under 6 minutes. Has a classic Iron Maiden riff. It slows down a little bit. Now this is it's a power ballad. It reminds me of kind of Wasting Love from Fear the Dark. So it is, I think, that type of song. It does have a memorable riff and chorus, pretty cool breakdown and guitar solo. I do like this one, not one of my favorites, not one of my least favorites, but it's an okay song. Next is The Alchemist, the shortest song. It's written by Yannick Gers, Steve Harris, and Bruce Dickinson. It's under 5 minutes, has that classic Iron Maiden sound, the opening riffs, the galloping guitars. Now I think at this point the album starts to get a little forgettable. This one does have some cool riffs, but not one of my favorites. Next one is a really good one called Isle of Avalon. And I think they really go back to form on this song. Really great bass and guitar intro. Has that like slow building. It kind of brings you to the main section of the song. It's a longer song. It's 9 minutes, written by Smith and Harris. And like I said, the slow building intro, but it doesn't really bother me as much as like Satellite 15, The Final Frontier did. The song does take off after like 3 minutes, has some really great heavy guitars, really great vocals by Bruce. And it does go into some like progressive metal territory towards the middle of the song and has a really great solo. And this one, I like it a lot. This is like one of the better ones. Next is Starblind, another one that's a slow builder. It has a cool like rocking riff. Song was written by Smith, Harris, and Dickinson, and it's close to like 8 minutes long. There are some pretty cool lead guitar parts, some keyboards in the background. I really like the riff in the middle of the song, which almost goes into that like prog metal territory again. But otherwise, it's really not that great. It's not really too memorable. That's the only thing I have to say about it. Next is Talisman, written by Jan Gers and Steve Harris. Now the intro is pretty cool. It has an acoustic guitar playing like this classical riff, has Bruce singing the first lines of the verse. The song picks up after like 2 minutes, has some really heavy like Maiden-esque guitars. Bruce kind of picks up the volume on his vocals, and it has some pretty cool guitar work. There's a pretty cool like twin guitar lead guitar attack, or whatever that is. I like that part. There's a breakdown after 6 minutes. Has some pretty cool like futuristic like proggy like space rock guitar riffs in the middle of it. This is a pretty good song. Not one of my favorites, not one of my least favorites, but it is a good one. Next, The Man Who Would Be King. This one has that classic Maiden sound. Has the slow intro, lead guitar melody. It's just 8.5 minutes, written by Dave Murray and Steve Harris. The song picks up after a minute, has some pretty cool melodic riffing. The guitars kick in, has really cool heavy sound, really nice gallop. Really like the lead guitar like playing in the interlude. Has some pretty cool like progressive metal elements, some pretty cool tempo changes. Some melodic like guitar like slides where they like slide the finger to make that sound. I thought that's pretty cool. Does have some tempo changes as it kind of moves on, so I think it is a pretty cool, good one. Final song is one of the like epic songs. The longest song, it's 11 minutes long, and one of the longest songs in their discography. You know, considering the other songs, the Empire of the Clouds, Round the Ancient Mariner, The Red and the Black, Sign of the Cross, and there might be some ones on the new album, but I haven't checked yet, that are longer than this. But this is written solely by Steve Harris. It's a slow building song, you know, like most of the other ones. Has a pretty cool bass, pretty cool clean guitar riff. I really like those types of songs. The song does pick up the pace after 2 minutes, some melodic lead guitar riffs. Has a pretty cool riff at like the 7-minute mark, and the song kind of like takes like a heavier and darker tone. Now this is a song I wanted to like it a little more than I actually do. I think it drags a little bit, but it does have some pretty cool parts. And I do like the end when it does kind of slow down and gives us that like melodic bass. That is it. So what are my favorites? So my favorites are The Final Frontier, like the second half of the Satellite 15 Final Frontier. I really like that one. El Dorado, I like that. It's very catchy. Mother of Mercy, that's definitely a classic. You know, that would be high up on one of my lists of my favorite songs. And Isle of Avalon, I like that one a lot. It's just one of those like slow builders, but it just kept my interest. The ones I didn't like that much, The Alchemist, I did find it a little forgettable and boring. Starblind, that's another one that didn't really stick with me. And that's it for my least favorites. The other ones I do like, not really great, but I don't like dislike. Now, where would I rank this album if I did a ranking? And I will be doing a ranking eventually, but probably towards the end. So their 17th album will be coming out soon, so I would rank it definitely in the bottom 7, but I'm not really sure where. So I think it is one of the weaker albums, but it's not a bad album. That's what I'm trying to say, and that is it. Coming up this weekend, new album by Night Ranger. I think that's the only new release I'll be covering this weekend. So on Saturday and Sunday, I'll probably be doing some more Iron Maiden, unless I think of something better to do. So stick around for that. I will put some other videos over here. I just did a review of the Book of Souls, so you can check that one out. And other Iron Maiden stuff. That's it. Like, comment, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.